A man eats the cheapest corn and discovers a money-making business opportunity. His son shook his head at the spiciness of the roasted corn, but still said he liked it. It's the spicy flavor that makes him want to eat it. Richard realized something. They all love spicy food. No matter what, it's the hot sauce that gets the taste buds going. He was going to become a multi-millionaire by making hot chips. Richard immediately bought a couple of bags of chips and went home. But his wife was worried about this month's living expenses and rent. She spent half her life with a man who has nothing. Does she really have a chance to change her fate? She couldn't bear to discourage her husband, but decided to go crazy with him one more time. They immediately purchased a variety of chili peppers and began to test them. But the first hot sauce made them very hot. But it wasn't the same kind of spice as roasted corn. The company's research and development department was making salsa too, but it was just extracted chili extract. But Richard believed that the only way to get the spice that was in their bones was to use the real ingredients that grew on the land, along with their traditional methods of production. To make it work, the family ate every chili pepper they could get their hands on. But how do you coat them well? He made a wheel similar to a factory roller. Finally, the chili that carried their hopes and hopes was served to their youngest son.
Burns good or burns bad?
It burns good.
Yeah!
The sauce was a success, but the factory had already begun laying off workers. The supervisor wouldn't listen to him. He mocked the fact that a new product takes years to develop and costs millions of dollars. How could you, a janitor, have developed it? It wouldn't be in his character to give up. Richard snuck into his office and found the home office number and called the president in Italy.
Hello, Richard. This is Roger.
Mr. Enrico, thank you for taking my call. I have an idea that you need to hear.
I'm listening.
He managed to convince him to get the address. He and his wife mailed the samples with great trepidation and dignity. When the president opened the chips, he couldn't stop eating them. He called Richard without even wiping his hands. He decided to visit the factory and meet Richard in person. The factory executives couldn't stand it. Every department was trying to find out who had alerted the president's immediate supervisor. After some investigation, they realized that Richard had overstepped his authority. He criticized him in front of the whole audience. If the president didn't take his advice and found that the plant continued to lose money, he would have pulled his investment and closed the plant, and then everyone would lose their jobs. And Richard began to question his decision. He couldn't afford it. When he got home, his wife noticed his mood. When she found out why, she told Richard to look in the mirror and encourage him not to deny himself. She would always be there for him. She read and studied a lot of business with him. She gave him a speech and taught him how to speak at meetings. The next day, the president's car pulled up in front of the factory. The time had come to change Richard's life. The president walked right through the crowd to Richard. He told him to call a meeting immediately. At the podium, Richard fidgeted. He couldn't express what he really wanted to say because of the professionalism of the script. He simply threw away the script and turned on the lights to improvise. At this point, the shareholders asked what the market share was. As a cleaner, Richard didn't know the meaning of the word.